Alright, today is going to be a little bit different. Usually, I'm spending hundreds of hours per build working for months on end to create some pretty big mega builds. But today, I'm giving myself exactly 1 hour to build a brand new fishing hut for my survival world, and honestly, I really have no idea how it's gonna turn out. The plan is simple. I can use any farm and any already collected block in my world to build it, but it absolutely has to be done within the hour, and the clock is already ticking. So the first thing that I need to do to get started is to collect all the blocks that I need to build this thing. And luckily, I think I have like probably 99% of what I want to use. Honestly, the longest part here is visiting all my storage rooms across the world and grabbing what I need. Keep in mind, this world is like 5 years old, so there's at least 10, 15 little storage rooms with little bits and pieces that I want to use in this project. Now that we have the blocks I want to use, we can start looking for a location, and luckily, I've already earmarked a spot for this build right between my two latest mega projects, the map shrine and the mega castle slash mountain slash forest. Anyway, it was a really big project. There's only one problem though. This outline is way too small for what I have in mind. I know it's a 1 hour challenge, but I couldn't help myself. Whenever I get building, it always blows up and becomes huge. It's just part of the fun for me, I guess. I just can't make small stuff. But at least the concept is simple. I want to create a house on stilts sitting on the edge of the water so that I can finally relax after a long day of playing Minecraft by playing more Minecraft. I've always loved houses on stilts by the water, and I've actually never really built one in Minecraft before. Anyway, now that you've seen the idea, let's get to building and find out if I can do it. Oh, and if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the video so far. Alright, so as you can see from the little time lapse here, time is ticking, but I am moving and I'm moving fast. Just for the sake of transparency, I'm not counting the time that I'm spending like talking and recording as part of the hour, because it would probably be impossible. I yap so much, so much, and I have to take multiple takes and all of that. So anyways, we now have the starting idea for our dock. I'm really just working on the outlines right now. I'm not doing any detailing. I think I'm going to save that for the end, because at least if the hour is done and I don't have all the details, if the main structure is there, it'll look okay. So we have this dock here. This is the lower entry point, so you can actually get in from the water, because otherwise that's pretty high up. And then you can come up here. But what's nice is you can fish from here, and I don't think the trident fellas can get you. TBD though, they might be able to. And we now have a giant platform here where we can start building the actual building. And as you can see, it's pretty big. It's pretty substantial. And the build actually takes up probably 80% of this platform. But enough chit chat. Let's get back to building here, starting with the foundation of the fishing hut. Can we even call it a hut, actually? It's more like a fishing mansion, I guess, at this size. For the frame here, I decided to keep it pretty simple just to make it within an hour so I don't have to think too hard, and the pattern is going to be easy to repeat. So it's basically just 7 blocks and then a pillar, 7 blocks and then a pillar. For the choice of wood, I used some oak, jungle, and spruce, and a few other little bits and pieces here. Basically, I wanted it to match the rest of the area, like the castle, but I wanted this build to have its own little identity, and when you look at the mountain, you kind of get both, if that makes sense. So you can look down and see this, or you can look up. They don't necessarily blend together, but they don't clash either. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we can almost call this a fishing hut. Now, we have the walls, and we have the foundation done. We're just missing the roof and the fishiness aspect of this project, which will come at the end. Like I said, I want to do the details last, because otherwise we're just gonna have an unfinished build. Before I keep going here, why don't I give you guys the tour? So you might recognize this block palette from a recent build on the channel which I'll overlay here, the Pirate Cove, and that's because since we're so limited on time, and also I'm kind of gaslighting myself into saying it's for continuity, I'm recycling some elements that I've already designed because I like them so much and I like to look at them, so why not put them in more places? Now the design is actually pretty simple. When you come inside, this is the entrance, this is the left, and this is the right, and that's pretty much the whole thing for now, but we'll get more into it later. Don't you guys worry. So far though, I'm really liking it, but now I think it's time we get started on the roof because I'm really excited. I got some cool ideas and I think it's gonna turn out really awesome. And while I work on the roof here through the time lapse, I just wanted to say a really big thank you to everyone for the support over the last few years. I really love making videos, and a really big thank you to the channel members. They help out so much making these videos. I do have a full-time job, so I try to find time where I can, and I think if you guys like these challenge videos, let me know. They're really easier for me to make than the big stuff, so maybe I can make more of these. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know. And if you want the latest download, it is in the members section as always. For the design of the roof, I thought it'd be a good idea to match the castle a little bit closer, so I used the same sort of blocks with the dark oak and the brown concrete, but I used a slightly different shape so that it would kind of stand out and really keep its own unique identity. Well, we still have a lot of time left, and it really feels like we're getting somewhere. Even without the details, I think the details are really going to pull this thing through and turn it from an okay fishing hut to epic fishing mansion, whatever. We'll think of a name later. But I think the roof is kind of missing something at this point, and I have an idea. Aha, so I have added a mast. Ooh, I got too close there. Yes, I added a mast to the top. Now, this doesn't really make sense, but I think it looks pretty darn cool. Again, completely ripped from the Pirate Cove build, which Wolgamir helped me with. I can't really take credit for that, unfortunately. And as you can see, I did take some time and add some details because we need to start making this thing look like a fish hut. It doesn't really look like one right now. And we still have to do underneath. Unfortunately, didn't have time to do that yet, but I think we're gonna pull through okay. And at this point, I have a question for all of you because I'm having so much fun with this build. I need your input. It's my project, but it's all of our projects in a way. So would you guys mind if I finished it, even if we go over the hour? Now, I'm gonna take the executive decision. I'm gonna say, yeah, go for it, Eco, because it's a cool build and we want to see it done. But maybe there's some purists out there who are going to say I cheated. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. I don't know if it's the case yet. We haven't gotten to that point, but I feel like we might pass it soon enough. Anyways, so now that we kind of have like most of the top side done, if you ignore the inside and that top part there, and most worstest this part here, but you can't see it from the front, so that's okay. Now that we have most of the top done, I think we can move on down to the bottom here, and I think this is the part that I struggled with the most while I was building this. And oh, hey, forgot a block over there. This is the part that I struggled with the most, honestly, because it's kind of tricky, and I was building it and something felt like it was missing the entire time until I was like, oh yeah, I gotta do the bottom. So let's get that done and just take a mental note right now of how this looks, and then afterwards with the bottom, what a big difference those details make. And they're not even like that crazy, it's just kind of fences and stuff. So anyway, let's jump into it. So for the bottom, like I said, I just put some trapdoors, some slabs, and some fences. That way it looks like it's being supported by a little bit more than a few flimsy wooden pillars, and I think it turned out pretty good. Now, we actually did run out of time, ladies and gentlemen. I did end up adding a crane on the left side here, and that was all I had time for, along with like spamming a few leaves and a few more boats and details and stuff. But I am super happy with it. However, obviously, it's not like entirely done. There's still like some sides over here that don't have anything, and the back still doesn't have anything, but I did try to do as much as I could within the hour. Now, full disclosure here, I was using creative mode in another world to kind of design as I went. I don't think it's possible to design something like this in an hour unless you're some sort of like savant or genius. Maybe some of you out there could, but I guess that goes to show, don't believe everything you see on the YouTubes, because sometimes people kind of boost it for the thumbnail. YouTube is a view game after all, and I just wanted to give it a try, see if I could actually just build it physically in an hour, and I'm happy I did. But ladies and gentlemen, the video is not over. I still have a few things I want to do. Specifically, if I back up here, you can see that the way into this area kind of feels gross right now, and technically it's not part of this build, but it will make the build look a lot better when I've done it. But basically we have this like stony beach here, which I won't do anything with this episode, but I did want to add some spires in the water out here and some bubble columns and stuff like that, and I think that'll just bring this build up a level, but unfortunately we can't count it within the hour. All right, well, I did do a little bit more than I said I would. I did add some spires, and what I ended up doing is actually turning this island that was here into a little bit bigger of an island with some stones, and I also like cleared out a bunch of the peninsula here and added an island. I also okay, I don't know how to explain it, but the biome that I'm kind of going for here doesn't really have sand. To me, that doesn't really make sense. It's more of like a spruce, and spruce has dirt. So I did replace a lot of the sand with dirt. I have a lot to go, but I just wanted you guys to get the idea. If I zoom out here, this is what we're going for, and eventually I will get through to all of this, but I think we're going to be building like more buildings and stuff. If you have any ideas for other few hour challenges, let me know, because I'll definitely put some more stuff here and kind of fill out this coastline and terraform it as we go. But that is going to do it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. If you appreciated the video and you watched it all the way through, leave a like and a subscribe and hit the bell and stuff. It does really help the channel grow, as annoying as it is to ask for that. And if you have any other ideas for other video projects, let me know down in the comments. And until next time, enjoy your summer. See ya next time.